So we have finally decided what we're actually going to mine on our Bitaxe miners. So originally we were going for Bitcoin Cash, moving these over to Bitcoin Cash. Then I got some comments talking about some lower hash rate coins that we should go onto. And I thought maybe we could stick it onto digibyte. But now I've kind of concluded that maybe we should just stick each of these miners that we see here, so 1, 2, and 3, onto 3 different coins. So we're gonna choose the coins, and I don't really know as of yet which ones we're actually going to put on which coins, but I'm thinking that we stick with Bitcoin Cash for one of them, and then we do Digibyte, Bitcoin SV, or maybe even eCash or something with a lower difficulty than we have on that. So we're going to go through that. We're going to pick which ones we want to put on which. I'm thinking Bitcoin Cash should probably be the highest one because that can do the highest difficulty or the most hash rate. So let's get into how we're going to do this across the board for the 3 of them, and obviously we'll show you which pools we're using and some other bits of information. So here we are on the dashboard for the 3 Bitaxes that we have here. So the reason that we're going for lower difficulty pools is because there's actually a chance of hitting a block. We discussed this in the last video, kind of what we were going to look at in terms of if we wanted to switch it to Bitcoin SV or maybe even one of these lower down. As I said at the start of the video, I've kind of decided on just doing 3 of them. So I'm going to be putting each one of them on different networks to see if we can hit any of the blocks. So I've decided on these 3. Firstly, we're going to stick with Bitcoin Cash, but we're also going to switch it over to a different pool with a lower difficulty. So hopefully we can submit a little bit more shares over time. And we're going to use the Gamma for Bitcoin Cash. And then our second coin that we're going to go for is Digibyte. So we have a difficulty of 741 million. We have hit this previously on the Supra, I believe, and we've nearly hit up to it on the Gamma. So either one of these has potential to go and find a block on there. But we're still sticking with Bitcoin Cash for the Gamma just because it has more terahash, and there is still a kind of possibility that it'll hit a block on there. So first one, Bitcoin Cash, we're going to switch that over. Digibyte is our second one, and I'm hoping to find a block on that relatively quickly. I don't know, maybe within a couple of days, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe 2-3 weeks. And then the last one that we're going to go with is Fractal Bitcoin. So slightly higher in terms of the difficulty as well. We've never actually hit up into that, but I'm willing to take the risk on that as well. And if it does look like it's a little bit too high, maybe we'll drop it down to one of these later on. Now, I'm not expecting to hit any blocks within the first couple of weeks, but hopefully over the next couple of months with these on, we should be coming close to hitting blocks on the network at least. And difficulty has dropped, seeming that a lot of people dropped off the networks because crypto dipped for a little bit. So difficulty has gone down, which is working in our favor. So I've picked out 3 pools that we're going to use. First one for Fractal Bitcoin is fbsolopool.org. Next one for Digibyte is going to be this digibyte-solomining.io. I'm not affiliated with any of these pools, but if you want to go and use them, that's fine. The reason that I'm using these 2 as well is because you can get a lower difficulty on them. And the first thing that we need to do is actually switch the Bitaxe Gamma over to this lower difficulty Bitcoin Cash pool. So if we go over to how to connect now, we can actually do that. So the first thing that we need to do is go into pool settings. Now, one thing that I didn't realize as well, with all these updates to the Bitaxe firmware and the website, is that you can actually add a fallback pool. So in case the pool goes down, you can add a fallback pool, which it will automatically connect to. You know, in cases of public pool, where it did go down previously, I think it's always good to have a fallback pool. They do this with ASIC mining, mainly when you're hosting ASICs. They'll have like fallback pools. I know that mine currently has 2 other fallback pools on it, but this is just good because it allows you to keep mining even if the pool goes down. So first thing that we need to do is switch this over to the Bitcoin Cash node. And we were looking at this in the other video, and I think we're going to go with Europe because that's the closest. So we're going to go with Europe and just import that there. And then the stratum and port is going to be 5566, which is right there. The Stratum user, that doesn't have to change, I don't believe. I don't think this Bitcoin Cash part of it is throwing it off. Somebody did leave a comment saying that it was throwing it off, but I don't believe that it actually is. And here comes the good bit, is that we can actually set our own difficulty. So it says here optimal value, but custom difficulty is also supported, as we saw in the last video. String d equals 1000 should be used as a password, where 10,000 is any difficulty value between the range of 2000 to 2.04 million. And we're just going to set it at 2100 because I feel like there might be some sort of difficulty with just 2000. So all we need to do is go here and type d equals 2100. As you can see there, that should actually put it up to there. So we can save that and restart it, and hopefully we start submitting something to the pool there. Let's just take this wallet that we have here. Let's go over to the logs, because that will show us if there's difficulty that we're actually hitting up into. So I've learned quite a lot about Bitcoin mining, or at least solo Bitcoin mining, from doing these videos. It's always great to get in here and look at the logs, because typically I don't really look at these things, I just let them mine. Mainly with GPU mining, that's kind of how it goes, because difficulty is always low. But as you can see, it is specified for here, so I think we just hit one for varying difficulty here, 4,640. So I think that that's gone on as well. And then another one here, so we just submitted one for 24,000, if you can see it there. So stop scrolling, 24,344. That would be a submitted share to the pool. You can see one there as well, so 2,452. So this is working as planned. I was actually quite surprised that it was working as planned. But let's go over and go to miner, personal stats, and let's type in our address and see if we have anything there. So obviously no data currently, but it does say that it is actually gone on, so we can see it here. Hash rate in the last 5 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. So at least it is registering it, and we'll just have to wait to get the hash rate for 24 hours and stuff like that. But that's fine by me that it's actually registered and submitting shares to the network. So that's our Bitcoin Cash one. That one's working perfectly fine. No problems with that. Next one, I'm hoping for no problems again, because we're doing it on Digibyte as well, and it's the same pool. So we're going to be putting the Supra onto this. I believe that this one's the Supra. And the reason for that is because it's kind of a go between the Gamma and the Ultra, which is the one after the Max, I believe. And it can hit good difficulties at sometimes, and the hash rate goes up and down. We can also do some overclocking with this as well, because the power supply can supply way more than 12 watts. So we are going to be doing some of that in the background. But for now, let's just show you how to do it. And we're going to put Europe solomining.io, and it's going to be a different port, so it's going to be 8881. Now for Digibyte, I don't think that there's many address, like places that you can get an address out there. Obviously you can download the core kind of wallet, but most places don't offer Digibyte in terms of web wallets and stuff like that, which was annoying because I would just like it all on one wallet, just because it's small amounts and it doesn't really matter if we hit blocks. It's more about the video for these purposes. So string d equals whatever, let's just put it to 2000 with this one, because the other one worked perfectly fine. So, and I expect this one to earn a little less in terms of the blocks, but let's save. And I think we've got everything right there, so restart. Let's go to logs, show logs, and hopefully that has gone in there. Also, can anyone tell me in the comments how you actually changed this? I think, oh, there we go, never mind. Doesn't matter. So it was in the customization. So you can see there, one chip's detected. Are we actually mining? Variable difficulty 2000. Okay, we've already hit shares. That's perfect. So let's go back to pool settings, copy this, and let's just see if it does show up. Let's just check to see if I put it with a 4 to see if it's going to give me anything regardless. It does give me something, but it doesn't give me worker information. Okay, that's perfect. So if I actually put in the real information here, it should give me worker information. So those two pools are working perfectly fine, which is great. I just wish that they did fractal Bitcoin as well on there, because that would have made it way easier just to have it on the same pool and I can just flick between them all. But then let's go and put in the fractal Bitcoin one as well. And this is on solopool.org. Let's click on start mining. And we actually have to look at the difficulty. So difficulty is still 250,000. I'm sure that there's some pool out there that will do it smaller. There kind of has to be at this point, because I don't really want to keep submitting shares for that high of a difficulty. And let's keep scrolling down. Fractal Bitcoin. Just off evaluating these pools, we have Spider Pool, Mining Dutch. But I know you have to sign up for an account on that, so that's why I don't want to do it. Solo Pool was the one that we just looked at. Jackpot, I'm not going to go for that one. There's Pool.sexy, could go for that one. Right, that one can't be reached, so let's not use that one. It doesn't seem like there's one that's worldwide that also offers solo apart from Mining Dutch or solopool.org. And this one's too far away, so we might have to go for something. We might actually just have to go for this pool. Fractal Bitcoin, mining URL, high difficulty port. So what is the actual difficulty in terms of how much you need to submit currently? It doesn't really show anything. Let's just load it up anyway, and we can go from there. So into there, let's take some of that out. Let's go back in and use this port. So 3066, 3006. And then we need to use our fractal Bitcoin address. So I believe that it's this right here. And does it say a password at all? How to connect? Let's actually click on this. Choose a coin, fractal Bitcoin, solo, normal difficulty, your wallet address. Let's just put that in there. Generate custom string. So, and then let's go to the logs on this one. Remember, this is the lowest hash rate one, so the Bitaxe max, which shouldn't really, on at least it's. I'm not expecting it to hit that much shares straight off the bat, but it does look like it's on there. Stratum difficulty is, oh, it's only 1000, so that's perfect. Failed, reconnecting, shutting down. So we did submit something, but it looks like it's not actually working. There might be something wrong in the pool settings here. The address for the pools, you can also connect directly to the pools using your Telegram ID. I don't really want to do that necessarily. Rent mining rigs without access to your rigs, confirm. So maybe we're not going to go with fractal Bitcoin, because right now it doesn't look like we can connect to that pool at all. Let's just check the logs one more time and see if it is actually connecting. There is results coming through. Invalid job found. If I stop scrolling this, failed to connect to JSON, reconnecting, shutting down the socket and restarting. Right, so if anyone knows how to fix it on that pool, please let me know if I'm using it wrong. But we might have to pick a different one going forward. We could connect it to this one, but I know that the ping to the actual node is going to be really, really slow. Let's have a look at the difficulty that they're currently running at. So this is 250k as well. So it doesn't really seem like there's many pools out there that allow you to go way lower than 250k. Is this spider pool still not working? Well, just for the purposes of the video, we might just have to go to solo pool and we'll see how we go from there. I know we're probably not going to submit a share at all, but let's just bring it over to there. So solo pool, and the port is here, and Stratum user, this is fractal Bitcoin, I believe, and the password is just X. So save and then restart, and let's see if it's changed password. You must found in a data breach. I don't know what that means, but that's obviously not my actual password, it's just an X, so it might be found in a data breach regardless. Okay, so it does look like we are at least mining to there, but the shares are obviously nowhere near 250,000, as you can see there. Now this was the one thing that I was looking at when I first got the Bitcoin or Bitaxe miners, was that I was actually mining to nice hash, and the difficulty was way too high on that, because I was trying to get it to mine Casper coin, or at least mine Bitcoin, pay out in Casper coin, and I realized difficulty was way too high and it wasn't even submitting shares at the time. So that's kind of the video done in terms of switching them all over. As I said, I do not expect any sort of blocks for a while. We're going to just let this run. We'll see, how it goes for the next week or so, and then we'll maybe be back with an updated video. I've also got new updated videos coming because we are overclocking some of the Bitaxes in terms of upgrades. I did showcase that in a previous video as well. And lastly, I'm going to leave a link to this Discord in the description below. So this was just left on one of the comments saying, just saw your latest vid on Bitaxe. We started a Discord. It's new for people who do these small lotto miners in hopes that they can team up with other lotto miners to get bigger chances. There's only about 20 people in there at the moment. But I'm definitely going to be in there, and I'm going to be offering out our hash rate at some point. If you guys want to just give us a coin, a wallet and a pool, and we'll point our hash rate towards that. Maybe we'll do it on live as well, and just see if we can hit some blocks on any type of network that we see out there. So I'll leave this linked in the description if you want to go join it. As I said, I'll be in there, and maybe like once a week we'll be offering out some of our hash rate. So make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this, and go join this Discord.